Zoli, what are some methods people can research to help when there doesn't seem to be any options in the crazy world around them?
That's a great question because it addresses what I like to call the phrase by Carolyn Myss, your spiritual bank account. But it's also good to have some tools in our toolbox to pull out and use. I personally use body code, emotion code, belief code. There are people I know who use EFT, the tapping. There is Reiki. And once again, not suggesting y'all do any of this, but this is what I do. And what's kind of fun, and I've done this for, God, 30, 40 years, take these psychological tests online. Now, I didn't do it 40 years ago because it wasn't online for me, but I had enough therapists that wanted to put me through a battery of tests because I was so peculiar. You can take personality tests, you can look at your astrology chart, but find out what works for you. If you are a religious person, if you are Catholic, if you are Mormon, if you are Jewish, if you are Wiccan, there are there are methods, and I'd call it ritualistic methods of aligning yourself with higher power. And that's what we're trying to do. I'll tell you a funny story about me, which is I know y'all love these because I can do some really ridiculous things because I'm a person. So, one of my favorite ones was one developed by a woman and her daughter called the MBTI, the Myers Briggs. And there are 16 options, personality types in that. Now, I've taken that test 3 or 4 times. And the first couple times I took it was with a psychological counselor. And so I had the test, I knew, and I filed it away. And for those of you who don't know what a file cabinet is, like a phone book, I had to go up to the Zoliart studio last week. I said, I want to look at my old Myers Briggs tests because I'm pretty sure I'm an INFP. Uh, that's what I've been saying, right? Well, I'm a big fat liar. That's not what the test said. That's not it at all. So I go to my file cabinet, this big metal thing, and I pull out psychological tests, this thing that looks like it's God's plan for humanity. It's 3 or 4 inches thick. And I find these two tests that I had taken Myers Briggs, and I also had taken it online maybe 10 or 12 years ago. And I'm not an INFP. I'm what's called a Sigma INFJ. Now, why didn't I remember that? Well,
Hmm.
once you're going to love this. Once I carried my thoughts back to the origins of it, I remember a couple years ago online running into, oh, this is the Myers Briggs and this is what INFP means. There are these cool Hollywood stars and people I admired that were INFP. And I thought, oh, yeah, I'd like to, I like them. I think that's what I am. So the P and the J were clearly different. And so last week, the fool I am, I start doing research on INFJ and every damn thing about that. I click all those boxes, every darn one. And I said, wait a minute. Some of this stuff I do isn't autism, it's INFJ natural behavior. So I've got to look at myself differently. So if you do these tests or psychological counseling, astrology, numerology, something in your religious group, you will find out more about yourself by people who have discerned these things, maybe from ancient times, maybe from recent times. So that's my silly story of the week. So now I find I'm looking at the 20 pages that I've handwritten. I look on the internet. Oh, I loved handwriting stuff. I love researching and writing. Well, that's so INFJ. And everything in my life is just fits into that category. So I'm like, wait a minute, Zoli. You need to refill your spiritual and psychological bank account with truth, with truth. So I basically BS'd myself because I just let something go that I thought was real. But we do this. We're people. Maybe some good came out of it. I don't know. But I suggest that if you want to build up your power center within yourself, all power comes from God, the universe, but it filters in smaller amounts to us. We can be very potent beings, but we only do it with truth, only with truth. So if you have some techniques that you use that you refer to, reading the Bible, reading the Vedas, going here, going there, reading in groups, whatever you use, find some things that you can stick with that really, really feed you and add meat to your bones spiritually. That's the only offering that I have. And of course, that funny story just there you go, Zoli. There's another weird Zoli story.
But then we were just talking about how everything's chaos and weird right now. So let's see if that makes